Thursday, 28th November 2019. In our lead stories, nationally, St. Kitts and Nevis records its fourth road fatality for 2019. And Honorable Lindsay Grant stresses the importance of tourism as St. Kitts and Nevis observes Tourism Awareness Month. Regionally, St. Lucia's Prime Minister takes aim at crime. Internationally, Zimbabwe on brink of man-made starvation, UN warns. And in sports, Chris Gayle says he does not get respect in 2020 leagues. We'll have the details of these and other stories after this message.
Another look.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse, Vaughan.
Welcome back. Another national news in detail. The Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis has recorded its fourth road fatality for the year 2019. This as a fatal traffic accident occurred at the Southeast Peninsula in St. Kitts on Wednesday, November 27th at 6:30 p.m., police said. The accident involved two vehicles and, as a consequence, one individual whom police say is a male is the fourth road fatality victim. The other three road fatalities recorded here in the Federation for the year are Stuart Davis on February 5th, Cleon Clicks Door on June 17th, and Hemet Safi on July 5th. The details are still sketchy, but the VON Newsline will provide more on this story as it develops. The month of November was designated as Tourism Awareness Month here in St. Kitts and Nevis. This year's theme is Tourism Refocused, #StepUp. The aim of the theme is to highlight the need for every national and resident in St. Kitts and Nevis to focus on protecting the tourism industry. Minister with responsibility for tourism in the federal government, the Honorable Lindsay Grant, speaking at the annual stakeholders meeting held in St. Kitts, noted that tourism is everybody's business. He elaborated on this by saying,
the tourism sector is a primary contributor to our national economy. And according to the statistics of the World Travel and Tourism Council, tourism contributes more than a quarter of the total GDP at EC $689.1 million. And therefore, the development of our product for the sector is key.
Minister Grant, while addressing those gathered, noted that young people represent our greatest human resources of the future and the future of the tourism industry. He noted that what they have been doing to capitalize on this area, and also provided some additional information.
In 2015, my ministry established our tourism education program in schools to teach the principles of tourism to our youth. And having launched with 3 pilot schools, the program now has over 360 students in 6 schools, 4 primary schools, 1 secondary school, and 1 technical and vocational school. In terms of our cruise sector, for the second consecutive season, we have exceeded 1 million cruise passenger arrivals for 2018-2019 cruise seasons. We are the only destination in the OECS ever to reach this mark.
The Honorable Lindsay Grant. The National Assembly convened in St. Kitts today, November 28th, as 7 bills were stated to be presented during the sitting. One of the bills, namely the Constitution of St. Christopher Nevis tenure of the Office of the Prime Minister Amendment Bill 2019, was presented. The main objective of the bill is to make an amendment to Section 52(2) of St. Kitts and Nevis's Constitution. With the amendment, a representative shall not hold office as Prime Minister for more than 2 terms. Attorney General the Honorable Vincent Byron Jr., in his contribution to the debate, said Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris is putting a limit on his power.
It was the first president of the United States of America, George Washington, who established this important precedent and stepped down after serving 2 terms in office, believing that this system of limited terms to be in the best interest of his nation. This selfless act of giving up his political power, George Washington was recognized by Britain's King George III himself as the greatest man in the world at the time. And maybe we need to consider our own Prime Minister in that light, in that he is bringing this bill, moving a bill to limit his own power. This bill really should be called the Harris Bill, because do you expect a man in power say, boy, I only want to serve 1 more term? And after that, the member for number 7 can come back.
Opposition parliamentarian Honorable Conway Maynard is opposing the bill, made reference to Section 38(2) of the Constitution, which states, "A bill to alter any of the provisions of this Constitution or the Supreme Court order shall not be regarded or being passed by the National Assembly unless, on its final reading, the bill is supported by the votes of not less than 2/3 of all the representatives."
I think the Attorney General acknowledged that in this Honorable House, you would need 8 elected representatives to meet this qualification outlined in our Constitution. The mandate for any government to do anything, as you would agree, is given to the election of the representative they choose. So in order to have constitutional reform or amendment, you would need the mandate given to at least 8 representatives. The government today received 7 elected representatives. The government does not have a mandate from the people to change the Constitution by itself.
Opposition parliamentarian Honorable Conway Maynard. As the members of the Federal Parliament convened on St. Kitts to debate some 7 bills in Parliament, former Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Honorable Denzil Douglas, has zeroed in on 1 bill in particular. The particular bill is the tenure of the Office of the Prime Minister Amendment Bill 2019. Speaking to this media house on Thursday, 28 November, as the bill is set to receive its 2nd reading and debated, Dr. Douglas noted that he will use Lennox Hodges' case as a basis of his argument for not supporting the bill.
It seems as though the Prime Minister is trying to make people of this country believe that democracy will thrive in a country when there is a limit of the tenure of the Prime Minister serving for only 2 terms. I strongly disagree with that. And the case in point that I would wish to use to demonstrate why I oppose that view is Lennox Hodge.
He further expounded on this argument.
Limiting the tenure of the Prime Minister to 2 terms does not guarantee that we are living in a democratic state and that the government is going to behave in a democratic and principled way. Because Lennox Hodge is a clear example of where the rule of law has been trampled upon in a democracy simply to massage the schizophrenic behavior of our Prime Minister and others who serve with him and who are afraid to tell him wrong is wrong and right is right.
Dr. Honorable Denzil Douglas. The official opening and naming of the new multipurpose facility in Cronies, Gingerland, will be held this evening at 6:30 p.m. This will also coincide with the official start of Gingerama 2019. On Tuesday, Nevis's Minister of Culture and Area Representative for the St. George's Parish, Honorable Eric Evelyn, assured the public that the facility will be completed in time for the ceremony. The theme for Gingerama 2019 is Reviving Our Culture, Sustaining Our Heritage. Minister Evelyn spoke to the VON Newsline and invited the public to be a part of the festivities.
Apart from opening the facility on Thursday, we will also be having the official opening of Gingerama 2019. Gingerama 2019 runs from Thursday the 28th of November until Sunday the 1st of December. Now, on the opening night, the official opening of the facility is twinned with the official opening of Gingerama, and we'll have practically the cream of the crop of talent in Gingerland, from dance to music to soca to calypso to folklore. They will be on display on the official opening on Thursday. I want to take this opportunity to invite all of Gingerland and all of Nevis and St. Kitts as well to come and support us in this community festival and come and see what we have to offer at our new facility. We promise you that you will not be disappointed, and we are looking forward to your overwhelming support.
The Honorable Eric Evelyn. The ceremony will be also carried live here at VON Radio 860 AM and www.vonradio.com. The Nevis Bus Association has dubbed Friday, November 29th, Customer Appreciation Day, which will afford persons traveling on buses during that day only the opportunity to pay a bus fare of only $1 EC. This initiative comes under the umbrella of the Bus Association's Week of Activities. The VON Newsline spoke with the Public Relations Officer, PRO, Mr. Charles Liebert, who provided this information.
We're going to be having the big day, which is the Dollar Run. It's a customer's appreciation, like we're giving back to the community, and it's a Dollar Run for throughout that whole day Friday, from 6 a.m. until midnight. So make sure if you're traveling on any buses that marks the Nevis Bus Association with a sticker on the windscreen, make sure you have your $1. If you're going to the bus and you're going to give a $5, $10, or $20, the bus driver is going to take their normal fee. So tomorrow, Friday, make sure you have your $1. $1. I know everyone is looking out for this big day, so please have your $1.
Mr. Charles Liebert. Constable of the Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force, Lennox Hodge, has won a case brought against him by the Director of Direct Prosecution. Hodge, who was on suspension for 415 days by the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force at half pay, was charged with 2 traffic offences. Senior Magistrate His Worship Mr. Reynald Benjamin on Tuesday, 19 November, dismissed Hodge's case. The judge ruled that there was insufficient evidence against Hodge and the matter was thrown out. This resulted from a no-case submission made by Hodge's lawyers Sylvester Anthony and Angelina Gracie Sukubab. Circumstances surrounding Hodge's arrest and prosecution at the time were not clear. A release in 2018 noted that Hodge was charged for driving without a valid and unexpired driver's license and for driving without insurance on September 19, 2018. But other reports suggested that he was arrested for being associated with the former Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Honorable Denzil Douglas. This media house contacted the Commissioner of Police seeking a comment on Hodge's arrest, and this was his response.
I have not seen no rumor, and I have not seen the judgment from the court. And all I can say is that the gentleman was driving without a valid driver's license, and he was taken before the court. The court will make a decision, and that's it.
Numerous attempts to contact Attorney General for St. Kitts and Nevis, Honorable Vincent Byron Jr., for comment on the matter proved futile. Meanwhile, the VN Newsline contacted leader of the opposition St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party, SKNLP, Dr. Honorable Denzil Douglas, in relation to the circumstances surrounding Mr. Hodge's arrest. The SKNLP leader provided this explanation as to why Constable Hodge was arrested.
Because on the evening of Independence Day, having been seen driving myself and Marcella and Conwys off the Parade Square, and because the crowd seemed to have become agitated with their cheers to see us, the Prime Minister, I understand, but very, very upset. There was a meeting, it would appear, of the Attorney General, the Cabinet Secretary, under the guidance of the Prime Minister, and the young man was ordered, arrested the next day. There was no evidence at all to substantiate the charges. And at the end of the trial, just last week, Tuesday to be exact, he was told that there is no evidence to substantiate the charges, and so he was free to go.
Hodge was one of Dr. Douglas's personal security guards while he held the office of the Prime Minister. The former Prime Minister further retained the firm stance that Hodge's arrest was politically motivated.
Totally politically motivated, and as a result of the smallness of the mind and character of our Prime Minister Timothy Harris. Small-minded people, that is what it is. Political harassment and because of small-minded, vindictive persons who we have in government.
Dr. Honorable Denzil Douglas. The VUN Newsline was unable to reach Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Honorable Timothy Harris, for comment on the matter. That's the national news segment. You can visit our website at www.vonradio.com or check us out on Facebook at Von Radio or our Von Radio YouTube channel for these and other stories. News from across the region is next.
Drive in style with your brand new vehicle. Compliments the Bank of Nevis Limited. We are offering 100% financing on all brand new vehicles with a very competitive interest rate. But that's not all. We are giving you up to 7 years to repay. That's right, 7 years. Contact us by phone or come into our branch today. All right. The Bank of Nevis Limited. My bank, your bank, our bank. The Bank of Nevis Limited. Improving the quality of life. Like us on Facebook. Who got the keys to my bimmer?
Welcome back, and now the regional news in detail. Out of St. Lucia. The country's Prime Minister Alan Chastanet is promising safety to all citizens of St. Lucia by focusing on 3 areas with goal of reducing serious crimes by the end of 2020. He said that there will be a focus on better policing, great efficiency in the legal system, and the rehabilitation of offenders. Earlier this week, he met with senior security officials for a weekly security briefing. According to the St. Lucia NewsOnline.com, Mr. Chastanet said there will be an increase on police patrols. Chastanet said greater surveillance is being made available to the police with the rolling out of the $1.8 million Safe City TV project in Castries. He said his government doesn't believe in only incarcerating offenders, but also rehabilitating them. He also noted that since assuming power, his administration has made a number of interventions to improve justice and security in St. Lucia. According to him, these include appointment of a director of public prosecution, reopening of the forensic laboratory, installation of high-definition CCTV cameras in the city, repairs to police stations across the island, recruitment of over 150 new police officers, provision of new police vehicles, provision of new police motorcycles, etc. The Bahamas has officially launched a digital transformation program that will make it possible for all major government services to be accessed online. The program, dubbed the Government's Digital Transformation to Strengthen Competitiveness, is being funded by a $30 million loan from the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB, and will be implemented in phases over a 6-year period. Its main aim is to remove delays and red tape that citizens and business interests encounter when doing business with the government. This is a challenge which has deterred foreign investors and challenged local entrepreneurship, resulting in delayed economic growth in the Bahamas. That's it for regional stories. Stay with us for news from around the world. Welcome back, and now the international news in detail. Zimbabwe is on the brink of man-made starvation, a UN official, Hilal Elver, has warned. More than 60% of the country's 14 million people are considered food insecure, according to the findings. Hyperinflation, poverty, natural disasters, and economic sanctions were among the identified cases. More in this BBC report.
The top 4 countries in the world facing dangerous levels of hunger, and the only one of those not in conflict. Hilal Elver described the situation as urgent. Child deaths from severe malnutrition are on the rise. Most people are eating 1 meal a day. The number of those needing food aid will rise to 8 million by December. Zimbabwe is facing its worst drought in close to 40 years, but the UN rights expert says mismanagement has contributed to the worsening crisis.
Madonna has cancelled 3 dates for her Madame X tour dates in Boston, saying she was experiencing overwhelming pain. Please forgive this unexpected turn of events, she told fans on Facebook. Doing my show every night brings me so much joy, and to cancel is a kind of punishment. But the pain I'm in right now is overwhelming, and I must rest and follow doctor's orders. The star did not specify the cause of her injury. However, early this month, she told fans in San Francisco she was suffering from a torn ligament and a bad knee. After her most recent tour date in Los Angeles, an Instagram video showed her taking her usual ice bath from multiple injuries. In an earlier video, she displayed a painful bruise on her right thigh. And finally, China has warned the U.S. it could take firm and countermeasures if Washington continues to show support for pro-democracy protesters in Hong Kong. The warning came after U.S. President Donald Trump signed the Human Rights and Democracy Act into law. The act mandates an annual review to check if Hong Kong has any autonomy to justify special status with the U.S. Mr. Trump is currently seeking a deal with China in order to end the trade war between the two countries. The U.S. has been disregarding facts and distorting truth, a Chinese Foreign Ministry statement said. The ministry threatened countermeasures if the U.S. continued going down the wrong path. The new law requires Washington to monitor Beijing's actions in Hong Kong. The U.S. could revoke the special trading status it had granted the territory if China undermines the city's rights and freedoms. Among other things, Hong Kong's special status means it is not affected by U.S. sanctions or tariffs placed on the mainland. The bill also says the U.S. should allow Hong Kong residents to obtain U.S. visas if they have been arrested for being part of non-violent protests. That brings us to the end of our news segments. The latest in sports is next.
Shop till you drop this weekend on Friday 29th and Saturday 30th November. Receive up to 25% off your purchase at the Home and Building Depots, Automotive Divisions, CDS Nevis Limited, and TDC Business Center. Why wait? Start your holiday shopping early to avoid the rush. Remember, the early bird always gets the best deals at the TDC retail stores in St. Kitts and Nevis. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
Welcome back, and now to sports in detail. In cricket, West Indies batsman Chris Gayle says he does not get respect in global 2020 franchise leagues. Gayle was speaking in a heated news conference after his exit from South Africa's Mzansi Super League MSL, according to the BBC. The 40-year-old had been playing for champions Josie Stars, but had scored just 101 runs in 6 innings, and his side had not won a match. As soon as I don't perform for 2 or 3 games, then Chris Gayle is the burden for the team. I am not talking for this team only. This is something I have analyzed over the years playing franchise cricket. Gayle, one of the tournament's marquee players, has scored 13,152 runs in T20 cricket and has played for more than 20 teams in domestic leagues around the world. He scored 47 runs in his first 5 matches in this year's MSL. Then hit 54 off 28 balls in his final match for the Stars before his scheduled departure. The team's chief executive, Jonah Leaf-Wright, said Gayle was not a burden on the side and called the left-hander sensitive. Gayle was expected to retire from one-day international cricket in August, but reversed his decision and is still available to play T20s for West Indies. In basketball, LeBron James became the 4th player in NBA history to surpass 33,000 career points on Wednesday night. First is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with 38,387 points. Second, Karl Malone with 36,928 points. And third, Kobe Bryant with 33,643 points. The Lakers forward and 4-time Kia MVP hit the mark with a 3-pointer over New Orleans rookie Jackson Hayes, who was 3 years old when James began his NBA odyssey in 2003. Back then, James was not known for his 3-point shooting. This season, he is hitting 35% from the 3-point range. The 3-time NBA champion also led the league with 11 assists per game and ranked 10th all-time on the NBA assists list. Still in basketball. Here are the scores from last evening's games. Jazz 102 to Pacers 121. Pistons 101 to Hornets 102. Magic 106 to Cavaliers 104. Nets 110 to Celtics 121. Kings 91 to 76ers 97. Knicks 98 to Raptors 126. Clippers 121 to Grizzlies 119. Hawks 102 to Bucks 111. Heat 108 to Rockets 117. Timberwolves 113 to Spurs 101. Wizards 140 to Suns 132. Lakers 114 to Pelicans 110. Thunder 119 to Trailblazers 136. And Bulls 90 to Warriors 104. That's it for sports. The general weather forecast is next. Welcome back. Another local weather forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. Weather tonight will be mostly fair with a 10% or slight chance of showers. Winds are east to northeast at 7 to 19 kilometers per hour or 4 to 10 knots, becoming lighter and variable over calm tonight. Seas are 0.6 to 1.2 meters or 2 to 4 feet. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:23 a.m. And that's our wrap up the major news package for today, Thursday, 28 November 2019. Before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Nationally, St. Kitts and Nevis records its 4th road fatality for 2019. And Honorable Lindsey Grant stresses the importance of tourism as St. Kitts and Nevis observes Tourism Awareness Month. Regionally, St. Lucia's Prime Minister takes aim at crime. Internationally, Zimbabwe on brink of man-made starvation, UN warns. And in sports, Chris Gayle says he does not get respect in 2020 leagues. On behalf of the rest of the news team, I am Tashon Tyson.